This year's Golden Week banners may actually be quite good. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are approximately 4 days away from the start of the Aim for the Top simultaneous Dokkan campaign for JP and Global Dokkan. This will be the simultaneous Golden Week campaign that we have been celebrating for the last couple of years on both versions, right? We know the theme of this year will be some type of world tournament theme, more than likely. What people have taken the theme here in the global producer letter to mean is the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, the Goku versus Piccolo Jr. Now, while all of us are hoping that that is the case, that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is for these banners that will bring us the Goku and the Piccolo Jr., who are the likely candidates to also show up on their banner. That'll help us kind of figure out whether or not these banners are going to be good. So to figure that out, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the previous year's banners, right? So last year's Golden Week campaign was for the AGL Cell and the STR Goku and Gohan. So there is almost always a pattern to the way these banners work. The only problem is that banner pattern has been broken this year. Normally, every year, this banner marks the first return of the New Year's units on the JP banners, right? So for last year, that was for the Kid Buu and the Fizz Goku on Cell and Goku's banner. However, on Global, we don't actually get those units, right? On Global, we got Tech Kale and Caulifla instead, and STR Super Vegeta, both of which this marked their first return. The only problem with that this year is this year we shared the New Year's campaign units, right? For the Tech Power Awakening Piccolo, right? This guy here, and the LR Fizz Ultimate Gohan. These guys released on both versions for New Year's, and I think knowing that, it makes the banner very, very easy to predict, because now we know that Global's probably not going to throw any wild cards at us. So first off, more than likely on both versions, we will see the return of both of those units, right? Normally we don't see them because these units are released the month before in Global, but not this year, right? So more than likely on the Piccolo Jr. banner, we'll just assume Cell is the Piccolo Jr. banner, right? On the Piccolo Jr. banner, we'll see the LR Ultimate Gohan here, and on the Goku banner, we'll more than likely see the Tech Power Awakening Piccolo, because God forbid they put two Piccolos on the same banner, right? More than likely that won't happen. Now, moving on to the rest of the banner, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out who's going to be in it, because you can probably already see the pattern here. One worldwide unit, LR, one, and this is pretty consistent every year, right? So one worldwide unit, LR. The previous New Year's Dokkan Festival, a Golden Week unit, and then 2 units that fit the leader skill / theme for both of them. With last year, we had one kind of wild card, but that's okay. I think that's more than likely just because of the way Global ended up working. So let's start with the LR. The LR AGL Gohan and the LR Int Cell were featured last year, and since then they've received an EZA on both JP and Global Dokkan. So there could be a chance that they are removed and placed in for the next year up, which would be the Fizz Bootanks and the STR Super Vegito. Now, the only thing is that these two guys are featured on the 8th anniversary banner coming up in 2 months, so these guys may not end up being on this banner. They could be, right? Could also be Int Namek Goku or AGL Frieza, they could also be on there. I doubt the current worldwide units, the Cooler and the AGL Super Saiyans, doubt they're going to show up on there. So it's between those guys, right? So these two, or the Goku and the Frieza. But to be completely honest, I kind of hope they just leave Gohan and Cell as the LR for the banners. One, because I don't think it needs to be too LR heavy, given that Worldwide and Anniversary are very LR heavy, but also because Dokkan has this habit of not returning EZA units, right? Like, unless they specifically fit the theme or it is an EZA banner, they like to not return these units, right? So I worry that the same may happen for even Dokkanfest LRs, right? We've yet to see the Super Saiyan 4 EZAs or the third year EZAs return on either version, and that does have me a bit worried. So I think it would be a good idea for them just to keep Gohan around. I know most veteran players have probably got enough copies of them to last for quite some time, but if you're a newer player and you wanted to pick up this guy and EZA him, this would definitely be a good time for you. So I kind of hope they keep Gohan on the banner for that reason. Because they're going to have to figure out a way to rotate these guys in and out of banners once they start EZAing, and I think this might be a good way to do it. Moving on, right, the next New Year's units on both banners, right? So last year it was the PICCOLO and Janemba, so just moving things forward a bit, right? We'll have the LR Ultimate Gohan, and then the previous New Year's units, which would have been STR Kid Buu on one banner, and Fizz Goku on the other. Pretty straightforward, and it's been pretty consistent that way every year. Moving on, a Golden Week unit, right? So this was actually from 2 years prior, and that is because the GT Duo, who was the year prior than the AGL Cell and the Goku, were actually on the 7th year anniversary banners, and they are on the 8th anniversary banners again, and they actually do return quite often. So I have a feeling the Golden Week returning unit will not be the GT Duo, but more than likely the AGL Cell and the STR Goku and Gohan. That makes the most sense. Just return the previous year's units ones. Though these guys did end up showing up a lot last year. They were even on the New Year's banner. So there is a chance that they could just leave Gotenks and Buu here on the banner. There is that chance because they haven't been featured in a while, but more than likely it will just return Goku and Cell, right? Moving on, right? The next unit on the banner, this is one of those wild cards I mentioned. Videl, I believe this was her second return on Global, and it's mostly because I think they just needed a filler unit. There wasn't really anybody else that they could return on Global that would have fit the theme, right? So if we were trying to play things correctly and fit the theme here, there aren't really too many choices if we consider that the theme is World Tournament themes. There are no Dokkan Festival World Tournament characters or any other Dokkan Fests from DB Saga that haven't already been recently featured. In fact, the only other Dokkan Fest from Dragon Ball Saga that may fit, if we can find them here, would be the Fizz Path to Power Goku or the INTS Goku here. Now, I could see them throwing him on, right? Especially if it's a Goku versus Piccolo fight. I see him being thrown in here as one of those just random filler units on one of the banners. He fits the theme. He's already EZA'd. It wouldn't be too bad of a pickup, right? And he'll more than likely fit on whatever leader skill there is for the Goku. So I could definitely see him being on one of the banners. I could really see them bringing the Path to Power Goku back. It would be his first return on Global, although he was just recently returned on JP Dokkan. I don't think that would be too much of a reason to steer clear, especially when you consider how often JP likes to push forward units. And Global 2 to an extent. And my biggest fear about this unit, right, is if they don't return one of those two who kind of fit the theme to a degree. This was Raditz's slot on both JP and Global Dokkan last year. So my biggest fear is that this is going to be Raditz again, who was just featured like every month this year so far. So I kind of hope that's not the case and they pull something like putting the Path to Power or Int Kid Goku there. Otherwise, if it's not them, there's always the chance that they could put, let's see here, I have them here, the Gamma 1 and the Gamma 2. They are a possible dual Dokkanfest that can be thrown into banner. Now, they are featured on the 8-year banners, and I don't know that they would take away from it. But if they wanted to pull you into these Golden Week banners, filling them as one of these random slot units, while they don't fit the theme, they are a dual Dokkanfest that hasn't returned yet. So there's always that possibility, but I do think it is a low possibility. But I did just want to throw that out there. Otherwise, a very, very likely candidate for a return as a dual Dokkanfest is these guys here. The Int Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and the Tech Super Saiyan 2 and Majin Vegeta. These guys are both a New Year's unit. They haven't returned in a while, and they also, I mean, maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but you could argue they do fit the World Tournament theme. And simply because like their fight did technically start on a world tournament stage, and then they were transported, and then they did their fight out in the wastelands, right? But I mean, it could work. They could just be thrown on the banner to fill, and it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. They probably are due up for an EZA, and they were a New Year's unit, so they could be thrown on the banner for that reason alone, right? So did just want to make sure I throw that out there. Otherwise, one final idea that they could put in there is maybe like the AGL Kid Gohan, and then maybe the Fizz Piccolo on the Piccolo's banner. Just a thought, right? If the Piccolo ends up leaning some kind of Namekians, it might be helpful to have a couple on the banner besides the LR. But those are just my thoughts. It's kind of who I think are the likely candidates to show up on these banners, as there was an established pattern, and I doubt they would break it too much, because then otherwise you're dipping into possible interference with the worldwide celebration or with the 8th anniversary. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, who do you think are the potential returns for the Golden Week banner? Who would you like to see on the banner? Do you think I'm way off with these predictions, or do you kind of agree? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.